An ugly, disgusting loser named Gaius chose to reincarnate as a boy named Matus to level up more and extend his limits. During his travels with a merchant, he sensed a nearby enemy, and his instincts proved correct. A massive tiger appeared, which Matus successfully defeated. Upon reaching the capital, he entered a store where he overheard an adventurer requesting help with her broken sword, needing a replacement for the magic school entrance exam. The blacksmith explained that creating the sword's enchantment would be difficult. Matus then offered his assistance with casting an enchantment on her sword, though the blacksmith doubted his success due to his weak crest. The girl, who accepted Matus's help, introduced herself as Alma, and he introduced himself as Matus Halashaime. Alma thanked Matus, causing him to blush. Unexpectedly, Alma's friend Lyri arrived, and Matus immediately took a liking to the pretty girl. Lyri also instantly fell for Matus, though talking to him made her uneasy. Later, when the blacksmith delivered the heavy sword, Matthias began enchanting Lur's weapon. The magical sword surprised everyone, since casting spells is typically more challenging. After Lyri received her new sword, she accidentally sliced through the table with it. The swordsmith was amazed at how quickly Matus had enchanted the sword, unable to believe he used just a regular spell to imbue it with magic. However, the swordsmith assumed Matus aspired to become an enchanter and showed him respect. Matus agreed to follow this path. We witnessed Matus taking the magic school entrance exams, where he encountered his crush Lyri again, along with almost showing up as well. The exam commenced, and Lyri managed to slice through the examiner's sword. Lyri successfully defeated the examiner and passed the test. She then thanked Matthias for enchanting her sword. Suddenly, he was called for his own fight. A knight appeared, his father's friend who had heard about Matus's magical abilities, so they prepared for combat. Matus spotted an opportunity to defeat him and launched his attack. The knight was surprised by Matus's sword skills. Matthias defeated Gil, the knight leader. Both girls were pleased that Mathis had won. Subsequently, they had to demonstrate magic. Lyri used fire magic to hit targets. Matthias was surprised that people now use spells with incantations, believing wordless magic would be more powerful. Lyri managed to pass the test with her crest of glory, while Matus was aware his crest was considered the weakest in this new life. When Matus had to hit the targets, the teacher underestimated him due to his weak crest. However, Matthias demonstrated powerful magic through wordless spells. He shot dangerous fireballs that destroyed the entire practice field. Matus and his friends gained admission to the magic school and met Headmaster Edward. Edward welcomed the students to the second magic school and wished them success in their studies. Following his brief speech, Matus was suddenly summoned to his office. Matthias grew nervous, thinking he would be penalized for destroying the practice field. Edward recognized Matus's strong powers, his ability to cast spells without recitation like other students. Consequently, Matus was asked if he could teach wordless magic to teachers and students. Matthias agreed to help Edward, but they faced opposition from the First Royal Academy, a school full of nobles who had banned wordless magic, considering it weak. Edward expressed his desire to teach wordless magic at the second school with Matthias's assistance, hoping to lift the ban and revive wordless magic in their world. When asked if he wanted to help Edward with this idea, Matthias agreed, and everyone was pleased. During the following days, magic classes began. The teacher announced that Matthias would instruct students in wordless magic. Matus then demonstrated by casting a spell without words, immediately destroying 3 targets with his wordless magic. Teacher Geyser then showed he could also use wordless magic, destroying a target with fire magic. He explained that everyone could learn wordless magic like Matus. The students began learning wordless magic, with Alma demonstrating her progress to him. He also observed Lur's advancement. Though she was exhausted, she was fascinated by wordless magic. Meanwhile, Matthias wondered why wordless magic had been forgotten. He decided to transfer some magic to Lyri, giving her renewed energy. With this new energy, Lyri became capable of casting wordless magic. Several months passed, and the second school engaged in a battle tournament against the First Royal Academy. Matus learned that the Royal Academy had students referred to as magical chosen ones. Suddenly, Matus sensed someone with 10 times more magical power than himself. He discovered that demons could not be conquered by humans. Matthias then went to the battlefield, surprised that demons had survived. The noble students from the First Royal Academy looked down on Matthias, claiming he was weak and would lose. He sensed his arrogant opponent was a demon and grew angry. The fight commenced, and Matthias instantly defeated them with wordless magic spells. The demon became angry, and Matthias noticed he could also use wordless magic. Matthias attacked the demon, attempting to decapitate him. His opponent dodged, and they fought each other. Matthias understood why the world had changed. He proved his opponent was a demon and revealed his true form. The demon tried to escape and attacked Matthias. As the demon attempted to fly away, Matthias managed to kill him with his sword. We see Gaius completing a reincarnation spell. 1,000 years later, he was reborn as a son of the Hildesheim family. Returning to the present, Luri was glad that Matthias had defeated the demon. Later, Matthias was shocked to learn that no humans had defeated a demon in the past 100 years. He then had an audience with the king, introducing himself as Matthias Hildesheim. The king wished to reward Matthias with land, but he declined this reward. He simply wanted to grow stronger, so the king offered him a magic sword with 2 enchantments as a reward. Matthias immediately recognized the sword he had recently enchanted at the blacksmith days earlier. Noticing Matthias's reaction, the king asked what he would prefer. Matthias requested permission to explore a dungeon and the right to keep materials found within. Matthias knew about the rare items in the dungeon and feared the current age was unaware of the treasures inside. The king granted Matthias permission to explore the dungeon and keep the materials he discovered. Matthias learned that the kingdom's magical chosen ones were currently absent. Additionally, the king suspected demons had been infiltrating people for centuries. Matthias was surprised by this information since, in his previous life as Gaius, he had nearly wiped out all demons. The king revealed there was tremendous danger from demons. Matthias understood that demons wouldn't attack individually and believed they would assault the kingdom as a large group. Matthias then suggested a strategy to defend the kingdom, informing the king they needed to create a barrier to stop the demons. He received permission to freely use the king's magical items. Matthias searched for useful items for constructing the barrier. Suddenly, he discovered one of his swords from his previous life as Gaius. He was surprised to find one of his ancient Auric Elcum swords. He then found another object from his past life, a powerful necklace. In the days that followed, Matthias supported other students in learning wordless magic. Everyone made rapid progress, and his friends learned about the barrier. After this, Matthias wanted to explore a dungeon, asking Alma and Luri if they wanted to form a party with him. They desired to party with him, but feared they might burden Matthias. Matthias assured them they wouldn't be a burden, and showed them how to cast magic arrows. Alma was inspired, and Matthias encouraged her. Alma accepted forming a party with him, and Luri also wanted to accompany her crush Matthias to the dungeon. Additionally, Matthias learned she wanted to use enchantment magic. Luri was already anticipating their time together as a party. Matthias' new party was formed, and they decided to seek out the dangerous dungeon. We see Matthias and his friends in the dungeon, where he suddenly wanted to show them something, a dungeon monster he intended to use as a target. Alma attempted to infuse her arrow with magic and successfully managed to fill her arrows with magical power. Alma was happy, and Matthias gave her additional advice. She immediately followed his guidance and shot an arrow. The magic arrow changed direction while flying and struck another monster. Alma then went off to fight monsters in the dungeon. Luri wanted to learn more about enchantment from Matthias, but he said it was still too difficult, preferring to teach her enchantment magic basics first. Matthias wanted to teach her weapon creation initially. Suddenly, Matthias destroyed a wall with his magic, explaining to Luri that the entire dungeon consisted of valuable resources. He then explained the weapon creation process to Luri, who was happy to learn from Matthias and thanked him. Meanwhile, Alma diligently practiced using magic on her arrows, now able to defeat multiple monsters with just one attack. She discovered Alma had managed to create her own weapons. She then made new equipment for Alma, and her friend was grateful for the new gear. Matthias wanted to reach the dungeon's 10th floor, so they ventured deeper. Suddenly, numerous monsters appeared. Luri and Alma fought them, managing to defeat the monsters easily. Further along, more monsters appeared, and Lure supported Alma in battle. Matthias's party leveled up quickly, with the necklace from his previous life doubling their experience points in the dungeon. Suddenly, a killer dog appeared. Matthias warned it was very dangerous. They fought the killer dog and successfully defeated it together. Matthias was impressed by the 2 cute girls and praised them. Matthias then created a safe zone and summoned a barrier. The girls were supposed to rest, protected by Matthias's barrier. He wanted to descend to the 25th floor alone. Matthias made his way to the deeper dungeon floors, gathering useful resources along the way and sensing a dungeon boss at a deeper level. He jumped deeper into the dungeon and immediately encountered many monsters. With his overwhelming power, he defeated the enemy monsters and located the dungeon boss. The dungeon boss attacked him. A giant arc serpent appeared, and Matthias fought it. The giant serpent could decompose the ground with its poison, but Matthias wasn't afraid. He was finally happy to fight a strong monster with his newly acquired crest. He tested his combat-specialized crest against the dungeon boss. Matthias wanted to enjoy the fight and tried new techniques against the boss. Matthias used his sword to slash the serpent. It didn't die, so Matthias shattered a magic stone and combined it with his sword. He attacked the snake with a final blow, causing an earthquake. We see demons who also sensed the huge magical explosion in the dungeon. Matthias returned to floor 10 and showed the girls his defeated dungeon boss. In the afternoon, Matthias and his group visited the Adventurers Guild. Other adventurers looked at them angrily, having learned that many Second Magic Academy students were taking their quests. Matthias said he wanted to sell monsters to the guild. He opened a portal, and the receptionist was shocked at the defeated dungeon boss Matthias showed her. The receptionist learned that Matthias could use storage spells. He pulled out a giant magic stone, and the receptionist said it could qualify as a national treasure. Suddenly, Matthias expressed displeasure at the magic stone's small size. The receptionist wasn't sure if the guild could pay enough for the high-value goods. Later, Matthias's group received 750 gold coins as their reward, which he wanted to share with the two girls. On the way to the academy, Matthias sensed some demon's aura. We see two demons who had discovered rumors of Matthias being a demon slayer. However, Matthias wanted to defeat the strongest demon and trusted the two girls to fight the weaker one. Matthias then began fighting them. He tried attacking one demon, but his attack was repelled. The demons wanted to avenge their comrade. The demons attempted to attack Matthias, but Matthias managed to stop the fire spell and reflected it back to Lord Ashel. They were impressed by Matthias's power as Matthias cast more spells. Matthias lured the demons into a trap where they were hit with magic arrows that disrupted their magical flow. The two demons split up while fighting Matthias's group. Lord Ashel prepared a powerful spell to eliminate Matthias. Suddenly, Matthias used a spirit ball to stop his opponent's attack. The demon underestimated Matthias and failed to hit Matthias with his attacks. Matthias countered and severely injured Lord Ashel's back. The demon tried to escape but was paralyzed. Lord Ashel was pushed back and attempted to lure Matthias into a trap. Matthias immediately reacted and managed to escape as his magic circle followed. Matthias fought the demon, displaying powerful sword skills. Suddenly, he cast a magic spell that injured the demon. Matthias watched the demon weaken, getting his chance to defeat him. He killed one demon easily. Meanwhile, Alma and Luri fought together against the weaker demon. They gained some time while Matthias prepared to kill the second demon. Matthias used a very powerful magic spell called Light of Death that kills demons instantly. The demon became scared and tried to run, but Alma shot special arrows that Luri made at its wings. This prevented the demon's escape, as the arrows broke its wings. Matthias attacked and defeated the demon as well. Both demons lost their lives as Matthias and his girls worked together to achieve victory. Suddenly, Matta's group attracted considerable attention. Not wanting to cause trouble, he decided to leave with his friends. Matthias jumped back to school, carrying the girls. The next day, Matthias and his girls were invited to see the king. They were praised for their heroic deeds. However, Matthias requested access to all dungeons as his reward, which the king immediately granted. When asked what they wanted as rewards, Alma requested money, and Luri said the same. The king laughed and accepted their wishes. Suddenly, Matthias sensed a demon's magic. An enemy demon was using magic to spy on the king. Matthias stopped the demon's spell and managed to injure the enemy. Edward and the king were shocked to discover they were being spied upon. Matthias said he could locate the demon's whereabouts and suggested countermeasures because he wanted to hunt the demons. Unfortunately, the distance was too far. Matthias said his teleportation magic was useless, and Principal Edward was shocked that Matthias could cast teleportation magic. Matthias said they would find a solution at the mountain summit. They arrived at the mountaintop, where Matthias wanted to speak with a giant dark dragon. The girls were shocked he wanted to talk to such a dangerous creature. Matthias knew the dark dragon Iris from his previous life, having defeated her 1,000 years ago. Matthias was threatened by Iris, who didn't recognize him. Suddenly, Iris prepared a powerful fire attack against Matthias. However, Matthias simply negated her spell, shocking Iris. She couldn't believe a human could stop her spell so easily. Matthias replied that he was Gaius's reincarnation, and Iris immediately apologized for her rude behavior. Matthias said he didn't want to kill her but wanted Iris to help them. Additionally, Iris learned that Matthias now possessed the crest of failure. Matthias told the two girls they could approach to learn about the dragon. Suddenly, Iris told him about her destroyed wings and her inability to fly. Matthias learned that after his reincarnation, humans had caused many magical reactors to explode, sending all mankind back to the Stone Age. Matthias healed Iris's wings, and she thanked him. Iris met Luri and Alma, who were shocked that she spoke human language. Later, Matthias's group flew to the demon hideout on Iris's back. Iris was happy to help Matthias and wanted to fly at full speed, but Matthias stopped her because the two girls would die at her top speed. Additionally, Matthias learned that his life as Gaius was becoming legendary. Iris flew to the demon's location at normal speed. We see Matthias immediately killing a demon guard easily. The girls and Dragon Iris were relieved that Matthias was on their side. Matthias observed the demon's hiding location and sensed one particularly strong demon. Suddenly, Iris failed her landing and crashed into the house, knocking out Alma and Luri from the failed landing. Next, we see Matthias using telepathy to communicate with Alma and Luri. He gave Luri a magic circle and told them both to prepare an attack plan. Matthias said he believed they could both handle the offense in their assault plan. They met regularly and were going to find the demons in the abandoned house. They found no demons inside, but Misha sensed enemies hiding with a concealment spell. Luri concentrated and became able to track down a demon. Matthias told them to prepare for their attack as he cast a spell and dissolved the concealment spell. Alma aimed at the demon, who didn't realize his spell was no longer working. The demon was attacked by Alma with a magic arrow headshot. The demon became angry and looked down at Matthias, thinking Matthias was a scammer because he believed Matthias was still in the capital. Matthias couldn't believe how stupid the demon before them was. Suddenly, Matthias was attacked, and he communicated to Alma and Luri to prepare their attack against the demon. Matthias fended off the demon's attacks while the enemy was attacked by the two girls with arrows. They repeated their attack strategy, but the arrogant demon looked down on weak humans. The demon wanted to finish them, but his body slowed due to the magic arrows. Luri used a poison spell, infusing the arrowheads with strong poison. The demon became very angry and showed his final form, powering himself up. After his transformation, Matthias explained the current situation to the girls, who were shocked by the demon's trump card. The demon was enhanced and intended to attack the girls. The girls ran away, and the demon attacked an illusion. The demon learned the illusion spell was combined with a poison spell. The demon was immobilized, and Alma delivered a headshot with her arrow. Matthias congratulated the two girls on their victory and said they should return to Iris. However, Matthias decided to fight the strongest one alone. He used magic stones, destroying them into fine dust. Through this method, Matthias managed to force a fog demon to manifest physically. Suddenly, a demon appeared, surprised by Misha's abilities. He said he had heard rumors about Matthias. All demons knew Matthias was a monster very strong for a human. However, the demon looked down on Matthias, claiming he was stronger than previous demons. The demon attacked Matthias and managed to push him back. Suddenly, the demon severed Matthias's arm with powerful wind magic. With Matthias having lost an arm, the demon wanted to end their fight. Matthias healed his injured body, restoring his arm. The demon tried to kill Matthias, but he dodged all attacks easily. The demon was poisoned and angry, wanting to use his last trick. He tried transforming into a powerful monster, but Matthias stopped the transformation with a spell. The demon became mad and cast a fog spell intended to defeat Matthias. Matthias canceled the demon's magic again, trapping the demon with his magic. Matthias revealed his sword didn't have poison. Instead, he used a spell to drain magical power. Finally, Matthias executed a massive attack, causing a huge explosion. Luri was extremely worried about Matthias. Later, we see Matthias standing before a large crystal. Luri immediately gave him a hug, happy that Matthias was unharmed and healthy. Luri and Alma appeared as well. She congratulated him on his victory and asked about the giant crystal. Mattis replied that the crystal was a dragon vein that conducted magical power. The girls learned that demons planned to use dragon veins to summon an army of 5,000 monsters to attack the capital. Mattis said they could defeat the monsters, but needed support from other students. On the return trip to school, Iris asked what she should do now. Mattis asked if she would like to join his group. Iris loved the idea and wanted to transform into a human. With a spell, Iris became human without clothes, standing naked before Mattis. Luri and Alma tried to cover his eyes in the evening. Arriving at the academy, they handed demon horns to Edward. He was surprised that Mattis could travel halfway around the world in just 2 days. Mattis introduced Iris to the principal, and a ward allowed Iris to join the Magic Academy as an exchange student. Before that, Iris had to pass the same entrance exam as Mattis. He immediately worried that Iris would destroy the entire school if he didn't supervise her. Mattis hoped Iris would pass the entrance exam. As Mattis and the girls headed to the bedrooms, he held Iris's hand and created a fake crest for her so she wouldn't stand out. The girls wished Iris good luck for the next day. The following day, the written exam began, and Iris immediately performed nonsense. Edward was concerned that Iris would fail the entrance exam. In the second trial, Iris had to fight Knight Leader Gil. Mattis couldn't remember the man, and Luri reminded him he had fought Gil at the entrance exam. The fight started with Iris being very clumsy, immediately losing her sword. Suddenly, Jill began attacking, and Iris simply stopped the sword with her hand. Gil was shocked by Iris's enormous strength. Iris tried to counterattack, and Matthias managed to protect Gil with a barrier in time. Edward couldn't believe Iris was supposed to be an ordinary girl. Gil was defeated, and the next trial started. Iris concentrated and tried controlling her powerful magic, but totally failed. Mattis created a barrier in time. Iris apologized and tried hitting the targets again, but couldn't manage it. Finally, she used another spell, and Mattis used a strong barrier for protection. Iris destroyed the entire field, shocking everyone with her fearsome power. Half the school was destroyed, but she passed the entrance exams. In the following days, we see Matus examining the barrier material mining in a cave. Edward told him they needed more people with the Crest of Glory, and intended to ask the First Academy for support. In the afternoon, the First Royal Academy's principal appeared, wanting to refuse cooperation with them. Edward said they had more important things to do than fight, and that they had won against the First Academy. In the last tournament, the First Royal Academy's principal didn't accept their defeat because a demon was causing trouble. Misha suggested to the principal that they should repeat the competition. The First Academy's principal accepted the proposal. Mattis accepted the conditions, wanting to repeat the competition in 2 days. 2 days later, all students with the Crest of Glory from the First Academy appeared. The First Academy's principal was confident his students would easily win against Edward's school. Matthias's classmates appeared, sending only 5 students into the fight. The fight started, and they were instantly defeated by wordless magic. The First Academy stood no chance against the Second Academy, losing immediately. Suddenly, the Second Academy's principal became angry, claiming they were cheating. He demanded the student fight against Iris, thinking she was weak. Mattis gave her a sword for the fight. The First Academy's principal checked the sword, but Iris accidentally destroyed it and was called a monster. Edward complained that the First Academy still refused to teach wordless magic to students. Suddenly, the king appeared and punished the Second Academy's principal. The students were entrusted to the Second Academy's care to learn magic together. Later, Mattis and his friends went to the dungeon, with Matthias planning to collect valuable materials for their barrier. Mattis said they had to defeat strong monsters to collect a large magic stone. Suddenly, Iris was afraid Matthias wanted to sacrifice her for a magic stone. Mattis said he had no intention of sacrifice. Harris followed, as Alma and Luri fought strong wolves, making great progress and managing to defeat high-level monsters easily. Meanwhile, Mattis worried about Iris because she still didn't have her powers under control. We see Iris almost accidentally killing Mattis with her sword. After defeating monsters on the 17th floor, they went deeper into the dungeon. Arriving on the next floor, Mattis wanted to summon a monster with a magic stone. Luri should create a magic circle with her Crest of Glory. Mattis supported her from behind and shot his load, helping Luri create a strong magic circle. Iris should slowly pour some of her magic into the magic stone, but she overdid it. Mattis tried to stop her, as Iris sent even more magic into the stone. The dungeon floor collapsed, and Matas asked why she hadn't slowly transferred her magic. Iris said a well-known person had taught her what slowly means. Suddenly, Matthias realized he was causing the misunderstanding in his previous life as Geis. A huge dragon appeared, wanting to kill Misha's group. Matus ordered Iris to attack the dragon, but her attack was blocked. Iris should provoke and insult the dragon. The dragon became angry, and Iris became a lure. Luri enchanted an arrow, and Alma shot the dragon with one of her attacks. The dragon didn't weaken, and Matus prepared an attack strategy. Suddenly, the dragon sighted the two girls, and they froze in fear. Matus said Iris should protect the two girls. Iris immediately attacked the dragon, pushing it back. Iris fought the dragon, but was briefly distracted and stomped into the ground. The dragon tried using its fire breath, but Matus's group prevented the attack. All the girls fought the dragon, gaining Matus some time. He told Iris to lure the dragon into his trap, then activated his spell, a very powerful spell to kill the dragon instantly. Suddenly, Iris tripped, and Matthias immediately ran to protect her. Matthias managed to create a barrier in time, and his final attack was a great success. Iris retrieved the dragon's dropped magic stone. They returned to the academy and destroyed the entire area during their training. Matthias created a training plan for the girls. Iris had to learn controlling her dragon power as a human, trying to dodge Alma's arrows in their training field with a monster on her head. The training was very difficult, but Iris didn't give up. However, Matthias wanted to teach Luri new enchantment skills. He told her about 8 different enchantment spells. She was overwhelmed, and Matthias tried teaching her the new enchantment. Matthias gave her advice on casting the new spells. Luri liked Mattis's idea of creating a sword with 8 different enchantments. Mattis taught her the 8-fold enchantment, which she learned immediately. Later, Luri could create a sword with strong enchantments, and Mattis was proud of her. Meanwhile, Iris tried to better control her powers. Mattis said Luri made new weapons for everyone. We see the 3 girls testing their newly made weapons. The weapons were overpowered, and she could destroy a huge rock easily. Iris tried her new weapon and almost destroyed the entire school again. The girls were shocked by Irish dragon power. Mattis wanted to try his new sword as well. Mattis trained with his friends during a fight. Several weeks passed, and Edward wanted to conjure the protective barrier of their town with the students. Meanwhile, someone reported to Matthias that the communications team could sense unusual demon activities. Mattis still had to make preparations for their protective barrier. Matthias asked if Luri and Alma could handle the problems that followed. We see Luri and Alma going into the forest, suddenly spotting magical energy floating in the sky. Luri looked at a magic stone, remembering Mattis's advice to create magic arrows from magic stones. Additionally, Luri should decide which enchantment spells to use. Mattis firmly believed Luri knew how to create the perfect enchantment. Luri produced new arrows for Alma, and she thanked Luri. Suddenly, a demon appeared from a portal, and Alma instantly defeated him. The first demon died, and another demon followed from the portal. He survived Alma's attack, so Luri showed off her sword skills. Luri and Alma defeated 2 demons, and the magical portal disappeared. Mattis praised his 2 girls for their great work, explaining that demons were also preparing an attack. After their talk, Iris appeared with a large load of mithril. We see Edward already expecting the 2 girls as support in the fight. Suddenly, a magical portal opened, and a demon appeared. The demon looked down on humans, and immediately attacked them with a powerful spell. The students managed to fend off the attack with a barrier. The demon was angry and couldn't believe the students didn't die. The demon was attacked by the students. Alma shot an arrow at him, but he easily deflected her attack. Meanwhile, Luri was very tired from enchanting arrows and needed more time. Alma wanted to gain more time, but the demon prepared a powerful spell. Suddenly, he attacked with a fire spell, and the students defended themselves. We see Luri failing to create a strong arrow with only 1 try left to produce a powerful arrow. Everyone encouraged her, and Luri successfully managed to create a powerful arrow. Alma took the chance and attacked the demon. The arrogant demon dodged the attack, so Alma changed the arrow's flight direction. Alma managed to severely injure the demon. The other students immediately attacked the demon. Edward and the students managed to defeat the strong demon together. Suddenly, another demon appeared and attacked them all. More demons appeared, surrounding the students. Luri was desperate, and Alma trusted that Matthias would appear in time. The demons looked down on humans, but Matthias appeared from nowhere. The demons were afraid of Matthias. Matthias said he would now defeat them all. Matthias launched his attacks, killing a whole group of demons instantly. The demon group's leader was angry and activated his power-up. Matthias fought all demons, managing to wipe them out easily. Matthias successfully killed all demons, and his friends were happy he saved them in time. After the fight, Matthias told them about preparing their barrier. He went to others in the cave and put a magic stone into a huge crystal. The crystal glowed, and Matthias created a strong protective barrier encasing the entire town. Later, Matthias told his friends the real fun begins now, saying the dragon vein would be activated soon, causing thousands of monsters to appear toward their town. We see Edward and the students getting ready for the monster hunt. Strong monsters appeared, and the sorcerers attacked all monsters with strong spells. Matthias had prepared traps against the monsters, and many were quickly wiped out with the students' support. Suddenly, a second wave of monsters appeared. Matthias said his group was now taking over the fight. Matthias threw Iris against a strong golem. The golem immediately fell over, and Alma defeated a golem too. Matthias sensed a strong monster approaching. We see a monster that absorbed other monsters. Matthias told the girls a Voyager was preparing for battle. However, all monsters were absorbed by the Voyager. Matthias wanted Luri to make a magic stone for them. Luri and Matthias threw magic stones against the Void Eater. The Void Eater grew in size and manifested into a giant monster. The girls hid behind Matthias, but he was looking forward to their victory. They started the fight, and Matthias was happy for his chance to fight a strong monster. Matthias used his crest of failure power and attacked the Void Eater. His attack succeeded, but the Void Eater's legs regenerated immediately. Matthias kept attacking, using many magic stones to perform powerful attacks with his sword. Matthias summoned more spells, combining them with his sword attacks. Matthias brought the Voyager to its knees, then used his finisher move, chopping the huge monster into small pieces. Matthias successfully defeated the monster and praised his girls for their great teamwork. The entire kingdom and students were happy they survived the battle. Suddenly, Matthias was deep in thought, saying he would like to explore more dungeons. The next day, Matthias told Edward he wanted to leave school to research dragon veins. Edward offered him a special scholarship because he wanted to continue supporting Matthias. Matthias accepted his offer, and Luri was sad that Matthias wanted to leave them. Suddenly, Edward also offered the other 3 girls special scholarships. The girls immediately accepted because they wanted to continue traveling with Matthias. Matthias later thanked Edward for his constant help. Matthias and his girls said goodbye and started their new adventure journey together. In the following days, we see Matthias's group heading to the next city, where a boy wished them good luck as adventurers. Matthias told the girls they wanted to explore the Doyle dungeon. Iris didn't know the city, and Luri said it was known as a dungeon city. Matthias was surprised. In his old life, nobody would dare settle a city above a dangerous dungeon. Suddenly, Matthias said they would take a shortcut through the forest. Luri and Alma couldn't believe Matthias decided to enter the dangerous forest full of evil monsters. The 2 girls were terribly afraid, but Matthias was looking forward to fighting monsters. They entered the forest, and Iris said she would protect them both. Suddenly, Matthias noticed they hadn't encountered any monsters yet, and Iris was hungry. They decided to take a break, and Matthias wanted to go hunting for food. Matthias started running immediately, wanting to explore the forest. In the forest, Matthias sensed many monsters and concentrated to find the monster group's leader. Later, Matthias appeared with a giant whisk monkey that startled the 2 girls. Amma and Luri said whisk monkeys were very intelligent and dangerous monsters. Matthias unpacked his hunted prey, showing the girls a huge wild boar. The wild boar looked delicious, and Matthias explained it was very tasty. Luri made cooking pots, and Iris wanted to chop firewood. When Iris got enough firewood, Alma caused an explosion using normal fire magic, but the cooking pot exploded. Iris was scared about Alma's cooking skills, protecting their food. Matthias was surprised she couldn't cook. Matthias cooked delicious wild boar meat, and the girls loved Matussa's dish. After the delicious meat, Alma wanted to serve soup. Matthias and Luri didn't trust Alma's cooking skills, but Iris wanted to try her soup. Iris drank the soup and regretted tasting Alma's soup. After lunch, Matthias wanted to go further through the forest, saying no monster would attack them. The girls learned the monsters were afraid of Iris's dragon aura. In the evening, they reached their destination, the dungeon town Melkia, and saw many injured people. Makia sensed the lantern was connected to a dragon vein. Suddenly, they were warned the lantern might explode. The lantern exploded, and Misha's group was unharmed. They later learned the actual lord of the city forced them to use dangerous lanterns. Luri was shocked, and Matas asked about the city's poor living conditions. He learned their lord had forced most residents to fight monsters on the dungeon's 10th floor. Many were injured or died. Mata's group couldn't believe the lord was treating people like garbage. They went to the guild to get permission to explore the dungeon. The guild worker advised Matthias against asking for permission, because in exchange, they would be the lord's lapdogs. Matthias learned he controlled everything. His orders were dangerous and absurd, but Mattis decided to apply for 4 permits. Suddenly, an adventurer who could cast healing magic was requested. Mattis said he could heal the injured. He saw many injured adventurers in the church who were almost dying. Matthias learned the new lord was causing the trouble. Mattis decided he would save everyone, giving out numbers to classify them according to their injuries. When Matthias wanted to heal patients, a priest appeared who didn't believe a child could save the injured, saying, "It's not a game." He looked down on Matthias for having the crest of failure. Matthias proved his crest of failure was perfect for healing, immediately healing the man's injuries. The man thanked Matthias. The priest was shocked, and they trusted Matthias. Together, they began healing all injured adventurers. Matthias's group and the priests worked together. A few hours later, all adventurers were saved, and the priest apologized to Matthias for his rudeness. He was impressed by Matus because Matus performed a miracle by rescuing all adventurers. The priest thanked Matas. Suddenly, Matthias asked about their actual lord. He learned the previous lord of the city died of an unknown disease, and a new lord appeared who brought the whole city to ruin. Matthias had a hunch demons were to blame for the city's worst situation. Mata's group stayed in a hostel, and Mattis's group wanted to help the city. Matthias told Luri and Alma he was sending a secret letter to Edward and would report the problems to the king. Additionally, he wanted to explore the dungeon to find out more about the dragon vine. They all slept peacefully except Luri, who was nervous about sleeping in the same room with Mattis. Meanwhile, Mattis was also nervous about sleeping next to his crush, Luri. Suddenly, Iris and Alma started talking together in their sleep. Matthias and Luri both got even more nervous and somehow tried to fall asleep. The next day, they wanted to explore the dungeons, but Luri and Matthias couldn't sleep because they were so nervous. Mattis stood before the dungeon gate and discovered it was manipulated. In the afternoon, Mattis brought a giant dungeon monster head to the guild. The receptionist was shocked, and Mattis said the monster was defeated by his girls. The women said the guild could accept it for now, but she had to report to the lord about their defeated monster. Matthias secretly looked at the report to the lord, and the women wrote that Mattis was a weak healer. We see the lord surprised that a group of adventurers could defeat strong monsters. Later, Matthias's group went out for dinner and celebrated their successful day. After dinner, Mattis noticed men spying on his group. Matthias lured the men into an alley and reported enemies to his team members via telepathy. Mattis assumed they were the lord's servants and cast an invisible spell. Matthias's group became invisible, and the enemies were confused. Mattis found out the men had been spying on his group for a long time. Suddenly, they wanted to take Mattis as a hostage, and Mattis's acting was horrible. Luri and Elma tried not to laugh about his acting skills. The enemies said they knew about their group, thinking Mattis was the weakest and could only use healing magic. The bandits threatened the girls, and Mattis ordered Iris not to kill the enemies. Iris approached the opponents and beat up the bandits easily, hitting them with bare knuckles. The enemies were all defeated in just a moment. After the fight, Mattis used a spell and tracked down a demon. The next morning, everyone woke up, and Matthias received a letter from the king. Mattis and his friends met the royal proxy, who wanted to deliver a message to the king personally at a secret location. The king ordered Mattis to arrest the lord, and Mattis wanted to do the king's mission immediately. The girls were also ready for the mission, and Matthias reported he had already caught a few henchmen. Matthias wanted to charge the lord's hiding place. They noticed there were no guards outside. Mattis used a spell and noticed enemies were already waiting for them. The royal proxy wanted to withdraw temporarily, but Matthias decided to attack them all at once. Mattis entered through the front door, and the arrogant enemies attacked Mata's group. Luri fended off attacks with a barrier. Mattis attacked with a spell, defeating all enemies with just one attack. All opponents were unconscious, and the royal proxy was impressed by Mattia's enormous power. Mattis sensed the town's lord was hiding in a secret place and found a secret door underground. Meanwhile, the lord thought Matthias's group had been defeated. Suddenly, Mattis appeared, and Dokiel underestimated him. However, he thought Matthias was weak and tried to lure Mattis into a trap. Matthias attacked all enemies, and they were instantly defeated. The girls were surprised that Lord Dukil believed the lie all along. Doki was arrested by the royal proxy, but refused and didn't accept his arrest. Mattis cast a spell that sent him to sleep. Mattis suspected demons were supporting Lord Dokwil. Matthias sensed a demon's presence through a scrap of paper. Luri was concerned, and Mattis told them demons most likely wanted to activate the dragon vein in the dungeon. The dragon vein could explode after activation and kill many people. Suddenly, the ground started shaking. The demons affected the dragon vein, and Mattis sensed monsters appearing. Mattis said monsters would arrive in Melkia City in about 2 hours. Matthias wanted to deactivate the dragon vein. They went into the dungeon, and Mattis found the dragon vein. Iris dug a hole into the wall and found enormous magical power. After finding the dragon vein, Mattis told Lure and the other girls to stop the dragon vein from activating. However, Matthias wanted to defeat the demons in the meantime. They began their mission to save Melkia City and prevent a catastrophe. Matthias supported Luri with telepathy, and she tried to do her best. Mattus defeated all monsters around them. He tracked down a demon who was expecting Matthias and communicating with another demon. Matthias linked into their conversation and learned the demon's boss knew about Dragon Vein's dangerous power. Mattis attacked the demon, but his attack was blocked. The demon looked down at him, and Matthias noticed a barrier weakens his attacks. Matthias understood the barriers were specifically created against users of the crest of failure. The demon attacked Matthias, trying to kill Mattis with magical spirit balls. Matthias dodged easily. The demon's boss knew Mattis's crest of failure was the most dangerous crest and ordered his henchmen to use range attacks. Matthias was attacked and created a protective barrier in time. Luri was worried about Matthias. He was unharmed and wanted to finish the fight. The demon tried to lure Matthias into a trap, but Luri disabled the demon's traps. The demon was shocked, and Matthias cut off the demon's communication with his boss. However, Mattis began overwhelming the demon, launching many strong attacks with his magic power. Matthias was a trickster and attacked the demon with his sword. He said the demon fell into his trap, and the demon could no longer create a protective barrier. His boss ordered the demon to transform into his final form. He attacked Mattis with all his strength, but had no chance against Mattis. Mattis explained he was just playing with him and showed the true power of legendary hero Gaius. He attacked with his sword and cut off the demon's arm. The demon became angry, and Matthias killed the enemy with a sword. Below, the girls were happy Mattus had won. The monsters in the city also disappeared, and Matthias praised his girls for stopping the dragon veins. Alma and Iris defeated all remaining monsters, and Matthias wanted to track down the enemy demon's boss. Suddenly, the demon boss was tapping into Mattis's communication spell. He said Mattis couldn't track him down, and he noticed the demon was trying to trick him. Matthias failed to locate his whereabouts, but threatened the demon that he would find and defeat him. In the evening, we see Matthias in the dungeon reporting to his group the current situation about the demon boss. He said the demon was trying to hide his whereabouts, and they needed to use a special device to track down the demon boss's whereabouts. The girls asked where Mattis got the information about the device. He almost revealed he built it himself long ago, but Iris stopped him from revealing his identity as Gaius. They wanted to go back to the capital to ask permission. They went back to the capital, and Iris was still eating. A few days later, they arrived back at school, shocked the school was being rebuilt. Headmaster Edward appeared, greeting Matthias and the girls. He said they were currently increasing the school building's protection to be prepared against demon attacks. Mattis reported they had to cross the land border of the nation of Rodinia in search of a magic item. Edward said it would be problematic, but would take care of it. Mattis offered to help with school construction until they received permission. Iris was happy, but others were more worried because she was a little clumsy. They went outside, and Mattus studied the construction plan. Iris said she was Albanian, but suddenly stumbled and caused more problems. A few days later, Matthias received the king's permission to cross the country's borders. Next, they were on their way to a new town. looking to find Mattia's magic device. Matthias's device was in a restricted location where only high-ranked adventurers could enter. They had to increase their adventure rank quickly. Matthias wanted to use Irish Dragon transformation if they failed to rank up. However, Matthias was received by the Guildmaster who was aware of Matthias. The King of the Ace Kingdom had told him about Mattis, so he wanted to support the group in raising their rank quickly. The Guildmaster immediately allowed Mattis's group to take the A-rank exam. Mattis and his girls found out they had to pass a practice fight against the selected examiner. Suddenly, adventurer Gilloise appeared, saying he was today's examiner. The Guildmaster was surprised. Mattis felt a strong aura from Gilloise. The Guildmaster told that Gilloise was an S-rank adventurer. Additionally, Mattis learned he was a battle junkie. The Guildmaster found Gills unsuitable as an examiner, but Gilloise wanted to be their examiner. Gilloise was a troublemaker, but Matthias wanted to fight against him too. However, all three girls from Mattis's group were told they all passed the exam. Suddenly, Julius said he wanted to challenge the famous hero Matthias to a fight. Mattis accepted his challenge. They went into the fighting area, and Julius was looking forward to defeating Mattis. The Guildmaster told the girls Julius was a combat expert. Julius said he would avoid using magic. Mattis sensed Julius was using magic despite his announcement. Julius used magic unconsciously and didn't know it himself. The two started their fight, and Mattis was attacked. Mattis immediately analyzed his fighting techniques and movements. During the fight, Mattis sensed Julius was activating many different spells. He suspected Gillis could use all spells through his instincts. Julius said Mattis should show his full power. Gillis copied Mattis's technique and jumped through the air to increase his speed. Suddenly, Matthias was attacked by Julius, and he blocked his opponent's attack easily. Mattis showed his power and defeated Julius with just a single attack. Julius was defeated and accepted his loss. Matthias won the fight, and Julius said he experienced a loss in a fight for the first time. Mattis pulled out a textbook from his item box, wanting to help Julius become stronger. He gave Julius a book about magic as a present. Julius thought spells were useless in battle, and Matthias explained he also used wordless magic in battles. Gillis thanked Matthias, though reading books was too much for him. After the fight, Mattis befriended Gillis, who asked Matthias to become a rank adventurer. Matthias replied he only needed a rank because he wanted to explore a restricted area. Suddenly, Jill said the city of Fulkia was behaving suspiciously lately. Gillis offered his new friend to call them for help if they had problems there. Later, Misha's group was checked in the next town and given passes they had to carry. Matthias immediately noticed a magic code was written in the passes. The girls found out the people of Fulkia town used magic spells from demons. Matthias suspected a demon might be controlling the city. Suddenly, Matthias spotted mercenaries and wanted to disable the evil mercenaries group. He gave Luri and Alma a magic item that puts enemies to sleep, then created an illusion of his two friends. However, Matthias started luring opponents into a trap. Mattis and Iris were attacked by arrows. Iris became angry and wanted to beat up her opponents. Mattis stopped her because she almost screwed up their plan to send enemies to sleep. Luri activated Mattia's magic item, and all opponents were asleep. Mattis couldn't see Alma and Luri. Suddenly, he saw the two girls sleeping too. Iris wanted to take the chance and got a brush to paint Alma's face. Matthias woke Lure up, and she was embarrassed to have fallen asleep too. Alma woke up, and Luri laughed at her painted face. Alma was shocked, and Iris said she was innocent. Later, we see Matthias's group in front of the town Fulkia. Luri could sense demons and said there were 30 enemy demons in the city. Matthias said demons were most likely disguising themselves as humans. Luri and Alma were afraid there were 30 demons in the city. Matthias replied the demons were weak. They fought together as a team. Matthias already had a plan to defeat demons and showed the girls a secret entrance. They went into the underground of City Fia. Suddenly, Luri was frightened by a little mouse and apologized. Matthias replied everything was fine. They moved on, and Matthias tracked down an enemy demon nearby. They couldn't go further, but Mattis used a spell to walk through walls like a ghost and hypnotized the enemy demon with a spell. Iris wanted to paint the demon's face, but Mattis stopped her silly behavior. We see Misha's group in Fulkia town center where people walked like zombies. Mattis guessed he was on the Walking Dead series, so he used a spell and found out people were controlled by demons. Later, Misha's group discovered demons turned people into junkies with a magic symbol. Matthias created fake symbols to fool demons. Matthias said Iris should act like a junkie. Suddenly, clumsy Iris stumbled, and a demon immediately appeared. He thought the spell was too strong for her, and Matus's group was able to successfully sneak into the factory. They discovered citizens mining many magic stones. Matus said magic stones were dangerous because with many magic stones, they could cause a huge explosion. Matthias was aware they hadn't collected enough magic stones to destroy a kingdom yet. He came up with a plan to save humans and defeat demons. Matus looked at a city map to prepare for battle, then explained the senses of all demons were connected. Lure and Alma were desperate, but Matus said he had a plan to eliminate them easily. However, the mission to wipe out evil demons began. Matthias summoned a huge beam of energy that alerted demons. The leader of demi-demons ordered other demons to locate the magical energy. All demons tried to sense magic power and took their positions. Suddenly, they were baited by Iris, and Matthias attacked demi-demons from behind. All demons were slowly defeated, and Matthias managed to wipe out enemies easily. Demons were confused and couldn't repel his attacks. Sometime before, we see Matthias explaining his plan to Lure and Alma, using Iris as bait to distract their enemies. Matus planned that Iris try to lure demi-demons away from the center. Iris was frustrated because she had to be bait again. Matus continued fighting demons while Iris lured enemies to her. They were a good team, able to defeat countless demons. Later, Iris continued luring demons to her while others secretly attacked them. Demons thought Iris was acting alone, not knowing she had friends secretly supporting her from shadows. The demi-demons leader wondered how they could be defeated so quickly. He suspected Misha's group used traps, so demons tried to track down more enemies, but Alma and Luri extinguished their presence. Demons failed to track down enemies, and slowly all died. Suddenly, the leader realized how they were defeated. Meanwhile, Misha's group had already defeated 22 demons. The leader looked at a corpse and noticed 2 different traces of attacks. The demi-demon's leader reported to his members about their situation. The leader intended to use magic crystals because he wanted to destroy the entire city. Suddenly a demon was killed, and rank adventurer Gilois appeared. Demons thought adventurer Gilois was the hidden assassin. Matthias felt his buddy's aura and was happy reinforcements showed up in town. Matthias was able to sneakily attack demons from behind without being noticed. Suddenly, demons wanted to attack Matus, but Iris threw her spear at them. Matus defeated more demons and thanked Iris for the great distraction. Meanwhile, Julius fought the demon's leader, but he was very strong. The demon injured Jaluz, and Matthias asked if he needed help. July wanted to keep fighting the demon. The demi-demon's leader looked down on humans. Subsequently, both fighters increased their physical strength and punched each other. Nobody could overwhelm their opponent, but Matthias believed his buddy Gilois could win. Jalois was pushed back, and the demon insulted him. Jalois became angry and showed him a new technique. He could severely injure the demi-demon's leader. Jalois ran out of strength, and the demon wounded Jalo with a sword slash. Jalois remained stubborn and attacked the demon with his last strength. Both fighters were badly injured, but wanted to win the fight. Both fighters unleashed their powers and attacked each other with their swords. Suddenly, the sun came up, and Gillis managed to win the fight. Matus congratulated Julius on his victory and thought the fight was over. Suddenly, the demon's eyes opened just before his death. The demon woke up and tried to attack Luri and Alma. Matus managed to protect the 2 girls in time. Matthias felt a stronger aura than before as the demon began to speak. The demon was controlled by a more powerful demon who used the corpse to send a message to Matthias. Matthias knew only a special demon possessed the ability to cast such powerful magic. Suddenly, Julius asked Matthias for help. Matthias went to heal him. Adventurer Jalois was healed and said thanks. Meanwhile, villagers were freed from the hypnosis spell and were all confused. Gillis said he handled the situation and told about the emergency authorization law. Misha's group learned he was now in command of the state temporarily. Gilois sought a position of leadership and chose a new man to be the new lord of the town. Mata's group was shocked by Gillo's decision. Matthias later received the guild-issued permit for entering the Fulkia restricted area. He thanked Gilois, and they said goodbye. Matthias went on a new journey to find his magic device. Arriving in old ruins, Matus said he was surprised to find such a great abandoned estate without saying he built it himself. They stood before a pyramid with no way in. Mattis said, "Throwing magic into the pyramid reveals an entrance." The pyramid started levitating, and Matthias created a path into the ruins. Luri was impressed by Mattis and called him a genius. Matthias decided to jump into the dark hole. The girls jumped after using body amplification spells. Iris also jumped down and destroyed the ground. They discovered the magic device from Matthias. He wanted to activate the device and told the girls they could search for magic items. Alma and Luri were motivated to find treasures. Suddenly Iris started looking around too because she wanted to find food. Matthias activated his device and Luri found an old sword from his previous life. Mattis was concerned because he knew the sword found was useless. He recalled that in his past, he had a time period when he designed weapons that looked cool but were actually terribly weak. Alma found a giant spear, and Mattis explained it had many flaws that could kill everyone by using it. Alma was shocked, and Iris showed up with preserved foods thousands of years old. Iris fainted. After opening the cans, Matthias activated the magical device, so the ground started shaking. Mattis said he wanted to track down the magic power of the demon leader from Melkia. The magic device displayed lots of data. Luri learned the demon he was looking for was the most dangerous and strongest one. Matthias said he was most likely already planning to wipe out all humanity, and they could use a magic crystal to find him. Alma remembered the magic crystal they found in the dungeon. Matthias placed the magic crystal in the magic device. Suddenly, lightning appeared, overloading the system. The computer device signaled an alarm, and everything glowed red. Mattis learned the seal of demon Zardius would be broken soon. Mattis said Zardius was stronger than him. The girls were worried and couldn't believe a demon was supposed to be stronger than Mattis. Mattis said with an immortal spell, they would be allowed to train for hundreds of years to defeat him. In the meantime, almost all humans would have been wiped out, and they would have to rebuild humanity. The girls were afraid, but Matthias had no other plan than to train for hundreds of years. Suddenly, Iris suggested an idea, finding a powerful weapon. Mattis planned to find a legendary sword he built in his previous life. He found his old sword in the royal chamber. Meanwhile, Demon Zardius gained his freedom. Later, Matthias gave Alma and Luri crystals with the ability to detect his sword. Suddenly, they felt Zardius's powerful aura. Mattis said they needed to find the legendary sword quickly. Matthias wanted to stop Zardius and try not to die in the fight. Before they arrived in the capital, Luri said they would bring the sword to him. Mattis trusted his friends, and they started their plan. Luri and Alma wanted to break into the royal chamber and panicked when they saw the barrier. The two girls were able to successfully go through the barrier. In the meantime, Mattis prepared his attack, strengthening his sword and telling Iris he wanted to use an attack to prevent demon space spells. Mattis wasn't sure if his plan would be successful, but hoped to buy enough time. We see Alma and Luri running to the royal palace. Alma was unsure if they could break into the royal chamber. Luri cheered them up, saying they could do it. They jumped on a house, and she felt a demon's aura. Mattis immediately attacked Zardius's spell, but the spell was too strong. Mattis couldn't stop Zardius from teleporting, and Zardius appeared. Everyone looked at the sky, and Matthias told Iris to attack Zardius with her breath of fire. Iris prepared a powerful fire spell, and Mattis told her to flee. Immediately after the attack, Iris attacked Zardius with full power, causing a huge explosion. Residents were scared, and the two girls immediately ran to the royal palace. Zardius wasn't defeated and looked down on Matthias. He threatened Matthias, saying he would kill him easily. Zardius took out his sword from an item box. Matthias tried to attack first, but Zardius countered with a sword slash. Zardius' sword flew toward Iris, but Mattis deflected the attack with several barriers. Zardius launched an attack on Mattis and noticed Mattis was weaker than his previous life as Gaius. At the royal palace, Luri and Alma asked guards to let them enter the royal chamber. He refused and called more guards for backup. Suddenly, the king appeared, and Luri told him about Demon Zardius. The king gave them both access to the royal chamber, and they thanked him. Meanwhile, Mattis fended off Zardius's strong attacks. Matthias didn't get a chance to attack and was badly injured. Zardius expected more from Mattis, and Iris managed to catch the injured Mattis. Matthias kept trying to buy time but was aware of their power gap. Zardius was disappointed that Mattis was a weak little boy. Suddenly, Mattis decided to sacrifice his life to defeat Zardius because he wanted to save all his friends. We see Luri and Alma looking for the magic weapon. The magic stone of Luri glowed, and they discovered the legendary sword of Gaius. They immediately rushed to bring the sword to Matthias, who was fighting against Zardius. The demon leader knew Matthias was buying time for something and attacked the barrier. Matthias was distracted. In their fight, Zardius used his weakness to overwhelm Matthias and intended to destroy the kingdom's barrier. Mattis suddenly realized Zardius could revive dead demons. A defeated demon appeared that tried to attack Lure. Alma shot arrows and lured the demon into her trap. The arrows hit the demon, and Luri managed to slash him. Another demon appeared, threatening to hand over the magic weapon they were using. Additionally, he had captured students as hostages whom he intended to kill. Luri and Alma were in trouble. Matus was shocked that Zardius had revived dead demons. Zardius tried to destroy the barrier again, but was only faking because he was actually aiming at Iris. Matus barely had time to protect himself and was cornered. The demon laughed at Matthias for protecting weak people. Meanwhile, hostages said they were ready to die, but the two girls decided to hand over their weapons. Matus hoped Luri and Alma could bring him his sword in time. Matus had no more strength and considered giving up the fight. He also considered using another reincarnation spell to defeat the demon in his next life. Unfortunately, he recalled memories of their friends who were trusting him with their lives. Matus decided to sacrifice his life and continued attacking Zardius. Meanwhile, Edward and other students showed up for support, managing to overwhelm the evil demon, so Alma got a chance to attack the demon with her arrows. The other students tied the demon up. We see Matus converting part of his life energy into magical power so he could keep fighting the demon, and trusted Alma and Luri, who wanted to bring him the sword. He attacked together with Iris, but her attack was stopped. Iris fell to the ground and said Alma and Luri should throw the sword to Matus immediately. When Matus received the sword, he was killed by a demon. Zardius and his friends were shocked. Matus was slashed, and the girls couldn't believe Matus, their last hope, was dead. Luri was crying and screaming his name. Suddenly, the legendary sword glowed up, and Matthias was instantly healed. Matus said his sword was activated by his death. Matthias was happy to receive his masterpiece because the sword gave him a huge amount of magic, with an effect like steroids. Matthias got faster and stronger, so the demon was shocked. Zardius didn't want to accept that a human could overwhelm him. Matthias said he was the strongest hero with the crest of failure. He attacked the demon and defeated Zardius with a strong sword blow. Before Zardius died, he told Matthias there were several chaos demons just as strong. Matus won the fight, and Luri was happy Matthias was alive. Matthias blushed, and his injuries started bleeding. Headmaster Edward also showed up, congratulating Matthias for his victory. He said no one was hurt, and they just needed to repair some buildings. Matus said the legendary sword still had magic left, and he needed to use it up. He swung his sword and caused huge damage. Everyone was greatly surprised when he used up the closing magic in the sword. The subsequent morning, Matus got ready for the day, and the women wanted to look at Matus. However, Matus opened the door, and they said to Matthias, "Exact." They went together to meet the king, who wanted to offer Matus a reward. Matthias wanted to maintain living his adventurer's life, and was happy the king didn't want the sword back, because it was useless now. Alma wanted plenty of treasures as a reward, and Luri was embarrassed by Alma. Iris only wished for delicious food. Later, Matus and his friends looked around the royal chamber. Matus didn't find anything useful, and Iris said she wasn't interested either. Iris realized an arrow was stuck in her head, and Matus recalled memories of his old bow. He planned to gift Alma with his old bow. Matus learned they took the rusted bow to a trading house. Matthias and his friends thought the strong bow had already melted down. The vendor said he remembered the bow and showed them a block of metal. Matthias wanted to buy it immediately, intending to make a bow for Alma. Iris discovered a large crystal and asked Matus to buy it for her as a souvenir. He sold the massive crystal for Iris as a present. Alma said Luri was looking at something interesting and gave him advice to create jewelry with the crystal. After their shopping trip, Principal Edward said they had a problem. The Chief of Knights showed him a wooden puppet and said soon 300 wooden puppets would attack the kingdom. Matsus analyzed the timber puppet and found out puppets had human-like electricity. They suspected the kingdom of Syl was managed by demons. Matus was given a new mission. In the night, Matus wanted to overwhelm his self-made jewelry. Luri closed her eyes and received a magic necklace from Matthias. She loved the gift from Matus and thanked him. "I promise I'll always treasure it."